welcome or welcome back. My name is Sophie and I do videos about weight loss, infertility, and lifestyle. This video is just meant to update everybody on my infertility journey and how that is going and the updates that I've had in the last month or so. If you're interested in seeing where we are at, please keep watching. Hey guys, so I wanted to do a infertility update today because I did get a call from the clinic. So on January 31st, I started my period and my new cycle, and I called in at that point, but my area was still in red. So I was told that they were not doing any IUI still. And I was okay with it because, I mean, we're in red in my area and there's nothing really that they can do, and that's just their policy and everything. And so when they told me that they weren't moving forward with my IUI, I decided to do all the blood tests that are due in March just to get ahead and get ready. And today I got a call from the clinic from a nurse basically saying that there were a couple of things wrong in my blood test results. One of those is my thyroid. So I'm at a 5.4 when you're supposed to be below 4.5 from what I understand. I think those are the numbers. I don't know. I'm too high, which means I'm dealing with hypothyroidism. It runs in my family. It can be genetic, and my mom's side of the family are all on thyroid medication. I was kind of just waiting for that to happen, you know, like I always feel tired and it's really hard for me to lose weight. And I've just always felt like my thyroid was wrong. But in the last 2 years, I've been tested for it multiple times and I'm always just on the cusp of there being something wrong. So this time around, it was actually wrong. There was something wrong with it. So I am going on Thyroid. Now, what's super upsetting about that is I have to be on it for 6 weeks and then get retested for it in 6 weeks. And that also means that I cannot do IUI during those 6 weeks. They want to regulate it before I go in for treatment, which totally makes sense, but is upsetting nevertheless because our area went from red to orange today, and I would have actually been able to do IUI in my next cycle. So obviously things are just not meant to be right now, because COVID either ruins it or my hormones ruin it. We just can't seem to catch a break, honestly. Another thing that came back not so great was my prolactin, which always comes back not so great. So I have to go get tested 3 days in a row. And then if all 3 days are fine, then my prolactin is fine. But right now it is too high. So I need to get tested for that again. And I will definitely keep you guys updated. But for now, our IUI is pushed back at least 6 weeks. And that is just so disappointing. But that's where we're at right now. And I'm just happy that something that is not great is getting fixed. And that's the positive side of this. So I wanted to film a quick little update on our infertility journey. I think the last time I spoke to you guys, I mentioned that we're having issues with my thyroid, and I've been on medication now since the last time I spoke to you. I noticed the one symptom that I've noticed since being on Thyroid is definitely the hair loss. It is insane. I've always lost hair, but not at this rate. They said that like for the first 2 weeks you can lose a lot of hair, and I've definitely found that to be true. Anyway, so on to the update for today. I finally got a call back from the fertility clinic with my blood test results. I was waiting on my 3-day prolactin tests and also my progesterone to make sure that I'm still ovulating a year later, because things can change a lot in a year, like we've seen with my thyroid. So they were testing my progesterone this cycle to see if, even though I'm having issues with my thyroid, to make sure that I'm still ovulating, and I am. So I did ovulate last month, which is good news. It means that things are still kind of working. And then the other thing that they were testing was my prolactin, because every time I get tested for prolactin, it's too high. It's always above 25. And then they have to test me 3 days in a row. And I think I talked about that in my last update. So I got tested 3 days in a row, and my prolactin is completely fine. It was below 25 for the 3 days, so there's no issues there whatsoever, which is great. And I was kind of wondering if there would be an issue because I wasn't expecting any issues with my thyroid, and that ended up being an issue. So I was kind of wondering the same thing with my prolactin. Everything is good there. So that's awesome. At this point, we are just waiting for my thyroid to adjust itself with the medication. And once I get tested for that at the end of March, we're hoping finally that we'll be able to go forward with IUI. That is the plan. As soon as my thyroid is normal, we are going ahead with IUI. That is what we are planning. That is what the clinic is planning for us as well. So we're really crossing our fingers. I did want to talk a little bit about some of the effects of the infertility journey situation right now. One thing that I didn't expect after a couple years of infertility and going for all these blood tests and stuff is that blood work is actually becoming something that's really painful for me. And when I went last time, I said, like, I've never had pain going in for blood work before. What is happening to me? Why am I having so much pain? Like, why is it burning every time you're putting the needle through? And she was like, unfortunately, with people that are coming to us constantly and getting blood work done a lot, you can actually start having scarring on your veins. So that's an unwanted thing that has happened with infertility. I really wish that it wasn't a thing because I'm someone that used to be really, really afraid of needles. And then I started going a lot and realizing that it wasn't that bad. And I kind of got over that fear. But now that I know that it's actually really painful for me, it kind of like is bringing me back into that fear mindset. So I'm hoping that it gets better. I'm not going for blood work for an entire month. So I'm hoping that my veins can kind of get a break and that it won't hurt next time I go. But I went for blood work, I think it was like 7 days in the span of 2 weeks. So my veins were not cooperating. Like, they were hurting so bad. They were having a tough time finding my veins, and I have like really prominent veins. So anyway, enough about veins, enough about blood work. That is what is going on. We're just waiting for my thyroid gland to adjust and get better, and then we'll be able to move forward with some sort of procedure, most likely IUI. It's a really long waiting game that I really didn't expect. Like in December, when we were told that we would go forward with IUI in January, I truly believed that we were going forward with IUI in January. And here we are in March, and it's not happening yet. And it's not gonna happen for at least another like month and a half. So, and even then, you never know what's gonna happen. That's what I've learned with infertility is like, you can't control any of it. And whatever happens, happens. Like, it's out of your control completely. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm feeling okay because I've gotten the news for my thyroid like weeks ago, and I'm feeling good right now and hopeful that this year will be the year that I get pregnant, but we never know. I'm just being positive about it and just reminding myself that things are going forward, even if it seems so slow. Like, things are happening. So yeah. All right, so this is another infertility update. It's not necessarily like my fertility update, but I thought that I would update you guys on this because it might affect me going forward. So I'm going for my thyroid test in 2 weeks, and from what I was told the last time I spoke to the nurses, they were saying that as soon as my thyroid levels were fine, that I could move forward with IUI. Well, I've heard from someone that called the clinic today that the clinic is still not doing IUIs even when we're in yellow phase, which they had kind of limited the amount of IUIs in orange, but they were supposed to like go full force with IUIs in yellow. We are in yellow, and apparently they're still not doing IUIs. I don't know what is going on because I was told that as soon as my thyroid was fine that we were moving forward with IUI. So I'm a little scared actually to call the clinic back to do IUI once my thyroid levels are good, because I just have a feeling that we're going to be pushed back again. So that's kind of a little update right now. I am wondering if it's true or not, but as of right now, it seems that that is the case and that they're not going forward with IUIs. only IVFs, even though we've moved from orange to yellow, which is less restrictive. So that's kind of an update on the clinic right now, and I'm hoping it's not true, but I will only know when I call in for my next cycle after thyroid is good. So it won't be an update in this video, but I wanted to kind of warn you guys that maybe there's more waiting to be done, and I'm also like just preparing myself for it. So yeah, kind of a sucky update. Hope it's not true. Really crossing my fingers here, but yeah, it is what it is. So as you can see in the previous clips, we're at a standstill right now. We are in the waiting game. We can't proceed with anything until my thyroid is at the right level. So we are just waiting for that at the moment. And we are hoping that as soon as everything is fine that we can go forward. Now, I am getting retested for my thyroid in a couple of weeks, but I don't know if my thyroid levels will be okay at that point, but I will definitely update you guys. If it is not though, please don't expect an infertility update for a very long time, because at this point, this is the only thing that we have left to figure out before we can start any type of treatment. And even if my thyroid levels are okay, we'll still need to wait for cycle day 1. We'll still need to wait for the clinic to get ready so that we can do our IUI. So that is pretty much all that I have for you guys today as for an update. If you like this update, please give it a like. Drop a comment down below. I answer every single one of your comments. And if you like this type of video, please subscribe. I post new videos every 4 days. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.